very courageous and
Yes.
with a very sharp sense of humor and really brave. So in the beginning, I would film a lot of people. I have hours and hours and hours of amazing scenes with people who helped me a lot, and unfortunately they are not in the film. But
Yeah, we saw along the credits and all the great things. So
but she stood up all the way.
I can imagine, yeah.
We soon realized that they were very good for this story, because even though they're very close friends and they have to face a very similar situation, they have very different attitudes and
towards life, yeah, that you really notice that. Before we continue, I would also like to ask Michiel Servaes to join us, the Executive Director of Oxfam Novib, who made this possible, also did a lot of work in the Western Sahara, so thank you for the round of applause. Good evening, hi. Did you like the movie?
Absolutely, yeah.
Did you see it before?
No, I did not. They sent it to me, but I said I want to see it here.
Yeah.
So I got some information on your project and how you did it, but not on the movie. So this was the first time I saw it.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Was it your first time on a big screen also?
Yeah, this is the first time I see it in a theater. The most similar experience was during the sound mix, but it was nothing like this, and especially with people around. I mean, you just feel this energy. It's magic. It's absolutely magic.
Are you less nervous now?
Yeah. Now it happened already.
Yeah, it's over. Speaking of, because you were talking about the soundscaping, and at the beginning I noticed the movie, it's it's very realistic, because it's about a certain topic, it's very political, but it's also poetic. You start with the dunes and poetry, and you kind of switch between the realistic and the poetic. Was that a conscious choice?
Yeah, something very difficult for us to explore it and to explain to people who have never been there is how this place is, because it's infinite. It's an infinite desert, but at the same time they're very constrained, and there's this invisible frontiers that they as refugees cannot pass. So for us it was very difficult how to explain that even though this place is infinite, they cannot actually move.
So they're like settlements.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So those dunes were the most similar that we could find to a barrier that they cannot trespass. So of course, this is something that we discussed, it's very philosophical, but we thought that it was a good way to start also with this dream that he told me, which for me was very representative of, because they come from the ocean actually. There's another thing with the mention of fishing road. They come from the sea. It's very difficult for us to understand that actually these people come from the sea. Most of them were fishermen. So this dream for me was very representative.
Yeah, of how they're in the exact opposite position, and you really have like physical barriers. And for those of us that, because let me start with me, I've never heard about the Sahrawi people. I think that's why they also say they're the world's most forgotten people. And there's a lot to take in within the documentary. So can you explain to us what is exactly the situation? Shortly. Yeah,
it's very complex, but as the projection says, Spain had a colony which they called the Spanish Sahara, and it was they claimed it during the Berlin conference, but little by little they started to take more territory, and they had it for the most of the 20th century until 1975. In the 60s already, the United Nations were they were pressuring to complete the decolonization of Africa. So they pressured Spain to leave the territory, but with the condition of holding a referendum of self-determination. At the same time, back in the 60s, both Morocco and Mauritania also claimed their right on the territory. So while Spain was leaving the territory, but before this referendum was held, the king of Morocco organized a march known as the Green March, with 300,000 civilians who entered in the then so-called Spanish Sahara. So Spain left without allowing the local population the right to self-determination, they agreed with Morocco and Mauritania that they would have the control on the territory.
Yeah.
But the United Nations never recognized any of them, Morocco or Mauritania, to have the right over this territory. So at the same time, the local population, also in the 60s, I'm sorry if I have to explain that it's really complex, they started a liberation movement. So this liberation movement, when Spain left, opposed the control of both Morocco and Mauritania, and there was a very long war from 76 until 91. Then, and I finish, United Nations convinced all the parts to commit to a ceasefire, you say that?
Yeah, ceasefire, yeah.
Under the condition of holding a referendum of self-determination in the coming months, but that has never happened.
Yeah.
There has been several attempts or tries to have this referendum, but it has never happened yet. And so that's why several generations of Sahrawi people are still waiting for that to happen in refugee camps in Algeria.
For their independence, you really see their daily life in your documentary, also how they're literally and also mentally stuck. And Oxfam Novib is also present there from a humanitarian aid perspective. Can you tell us a bit more about that?
A bit, yeah. You don't really see it in the movie, do you? But because it seems, if you just watch it and don't know the context, that they get the food from the supermarket or from their fields, but there are no fields there. So the food and the water is actually brought there by humanitarian organizations, both international organizations such as World Food Programme, and you saw, I think, one image of the UNHCR, the refugee organization, but there are also a number of NGOs active there, including Oxfam. So part of the work is in basic humanitarian stuff, so handing out food to people so they can actually eat. But there are some other elements as well. And one interesting thing we were talking about before is how can you still grow something in such a dry and tough environment? And one of the things that Oxfam introduced there was actually growing grass with very, very little water. So from seeds, but in a specific environment they can still grow the grass and then feed it to the cattle. So with basically innovative farming methods, the local population can still feed their cattle and at least have some milk or meat from the cattle there.
Yeah, so a way of sustaining themselves is through that.
So it's such a sad story, obviously, being in a refugee camp for 40 years and 3 or maybe even 4 generations. It's almost impossible to comprehend, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I remember half a year ago or so when the Syrian war entered into it, when it was exactly 7 years. And there was this photo exhibition where they showed all the pictures of children from exactly 7 years old, so knowing only the Syrian war, were born at the beginning. But here it's like, okay, so if nothing happens, this is what happens.
There are parents and grandparents, everyone there.
So it's unbelievable, really, and we in the Netherlands know very little of this situation actually. But the least you can do is help them and try to, improve their livelihoods somewhat.
And how do you, thank you, because to go further on that, you really, in the documentary, you really see sort of how people are trying to, the character are trying to live their, protagonists are trying to live their daily life, but also there's like this sort of boredom and hopelessness on one side, and on the other side there's like joy, and it's really funny also. How was it to film in those circumstances?
Yeah, I would say that the biggest enemy of Sahrawi people is time, actually. As he pointed, now it's 4 generations. All the characters in this film have heard of their lands in their grandparents' stories. So the main problem, of course, it's a very rough climate and very rough conditions. As he said, nothing can grow there until I think it was 2-3 years ago. For the first time I saw your program, which is absolutely amazing. But beyond all the difficulties of the living in such conditions, there's the lack of perspective for these generations.